This is holy shit.
This is the fucking podcast life.
Yeah,
For those of you that can't see, we're 100% just laying on the couch.
I leaned back and didn't even realize how ready I am to just fall asleep. I got like a cold or whatever. I don't know that it's even a cold. It's just like my sinuses are all messed up and my, it's just my sinuses. And I have a cough a little bit. So I took a bunch of shit because I got to record and I don't want to be coughing everywhere and like have a headache.
We appreciate that.
But it's supposed to be non-drowsy, and I didn't realize until I laid back on this couch that
it's not.
It's not non-drowsy. This is not going well.
30 seconds in. What? Actually, you know what? This is okay, because if you guys listened to last 2 weeks episode ago, we do this. It's a cold open. So we talk and talk and talk, and then at some point, Alden will say...
No, hold on.
Oh, damn it.
I know that was a good setup. But now that we've got one episode in the books and it turned out pretty well and people liked it, how are we going to hold up like to that kind of standard now? We got a lot to live up to.
Do we have to giggle?
I know, that's my question.
Giggle fits? Like, they'll tune in and the episode will end and there's no giggles and they just unsubscribe. And they're like, nope, that's not what I signed up for.
No words, they got a tear running down their cheek like that Native American commercial. Do I have to like squeak my voice every single time?
I don't know if I could take that. We still have to record a show after this, so I can't take the giggling into the Digital Hoarders.
But so how many episodes are we going to get into the future before somebody's like, well, I liked them before, back when
I liked when they squeaked.
Yeah, back when it was real, unfiltered, and they squeaked their voices.
Getting laughed for 20, here I go again.
What?
And laugh for 25 minutes. But you know what? Any conversation we have, we usually end up laughing. So I'm sure it's going to happen.
Well,
just, maybe not passing out on the floor and literally crying laughing.
Yeah, especially when I'm all loopy on cold meds. But you know what? That's what happens when this is...
#DadPod.
Welcome to #DadPod, the show about two guys who can't stop giggling long enough to talk about their fucking kids.
It's true. I'm not giggling currently.
Not yet.
It's gonna happen.
We got to get 35 minutes in first.
That's true, and then ruin the rest of the show.
And then not have a rest of the episode.
And then I've listened back on that episode so many times, and you are delivering a fucking brilliant... It was great.
I know.
It was so great. And then you just hear me in the back... Yeah. And that's all, and then you're like, I can't.
Like, I'm finally putting together 5 sentences where I don't say
Yeah.
And you hear until you explode.
Pretty much.
So that's who we are. We are two dads. I'm Alden. I'm a dad of 3 kids, 13, 11, and 9. And you are?
Brandon, 3 kids with a 4th on the way.
Ooh, boy.
8, 6, 3... And
I thought you were giving away your phone number.
If anybody who wants more kids, call me 863.
I was really confused and shocked. Maybe that's the cold meds, but I've already lost it. 863-555. Oh, so how have you been, man? It's been a long 2 weeks, huh?
It has indeed. Can't complain. Work. You know the drill.
Hanging out with your kids?
Hanging out with the kids. I don't know. Obviously, this didn't exist when we were kids, but like their homework, their teachers like don't send them home with homework. They're like, go do this website, and it's like called
IXL, man.
I'm like, that's not be a teacher. You don't get to be like, go log on to this and do a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
but at the same time, like when we were kids, it was all about making sure you did your homework, which I think most of the time I did my homework. But
sometimes.
Step 2, well, as a kid for sure.
Yeah.
But step 2 was turning it in, and I was always bad at that part.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that it's done now, but it feels lazy to me in a way. Like, her teachers are nice and all, but it just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels a little lazy to me when they're like, go do that, and then I'll log on and make sure you did it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but, and then, like, something else I've noticed, and maybe it's just this particular school, her teachers are awesome, but they ask for volunteers for everything. Like everything.
Like parent volunteers?
Just for the most fucking random shit. We have this app. Forgot what it's called. Bloom?
Class Dojo? Oh.
Yeah, there's Class Dojo, but there's also a thing called like Blooms. I think it's whatever.
I don't know that.
My wife Mary will correct me. But
if she listens.
Anyway, she hates the guys on the show. The teacher will send out alerts of stuff, and like I shit you not, the other day it was like need two parent
nude. What kind of teacher is this? What class is this? Is this?
This is only third grade.
Third grade.
We should nip that in the bud right now.
Nude parents.
863. 555. But she said I need two parents. People to volunteer to take down the papers on the bulletin board. I'm not fucking kidding. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? Why is somebody coming in when we have other jobs to do to pull your papers off of a bulletin board?
You can't talk today, huh?
Nope.
Did you take some of my cold meds?
Apparently. But, like, I just was blown away that was something that they needed volunteers for. And I'm just trying to sit there and think, like, what are you doing while we're doing that? Are you like the elementary teacher in Billy Madison who's like putting glue over her eyelids and just like taking a nap or something? Like,
yeah.
What the hell are you doing while we're pulling down your papers off of your... It's a bulletin board. How much... It's third grade. There's what? 22 students?
Uh-huh.
How many papers can there really be? But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, okay. I really empathize with teachers. Like, they've got it bad. And they don't get paid enough for what they do. It's a lot of work, and they've got to deal with a bunch of shitty kids.
Agreed.
So, I don't know. If they can get a couple parents, a couple doofus parents come in to take her papers off the wall. Maybe she's just trying to meet people.
That's what back to school nights. I'm also, I don't know about you. Here's a topic. I am never going to be a PTO parent. Are you? Are you or your girlfriend, Tanya?
No,
it's not me, dude.
It's not. So I used to work for a property management company, an HOA.
Okay.
We managed HOAs. And it was a nightmare. You'd go to these meetings because there's all these people who care too much about these issues that really, really, really don't matter.
Don't matter at all. Like Bill's trash can was not 90 degrees centered on the curb.
I was measuring my neighbor's grass, and it's a quarter of an inch higher, and he didn't get a notice. But I feel like PTO is really kind of the same way. It's good. Like, there's definitely issues that should be brought to people's attention. So having that PTO is a good kind of stopgap for that. But I feel like all the issues in between are bullshit.
100%.
And my kid had 45 minutes of math homework.
Yeah.
Okay, they had to do work, man.
So, yeah. My kid didn't have 45 minutes of math homework. The website's not working. Yeah, I don't know. Like, hey, hurrah to all those parents that want to be part of the PTO. It's just not for me. Like, the PTO moms, they seem like the bake sale moms and the fucking, like, this not me. Like,
so you see the what's that movie with Kristen Bell?
Bad Moms. That's what I was getting. Yeah, I am them. Like, if I was the mom, I would be the bad mom's mom. What the fuck was her name? I can't think of her name.
I don't remember any of their names.
But anyway, besides Kristen Bell and Christina Applegate.
Just Kristen Bell.
Christina Applegate's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome. And Mila Kunis was good in that movie, too.
Yeah. But I'm kind of the, like, when Mila Kunis stops caring. I'm not like that. That sounds awful.
Yeah, that sounds pretty shitty.
As far as, like, if I had to be a part of the PTO, let me rephrase that. If I had to be a part of PTO, I would be that PTO.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking eat these cupcakes. They're store-bought. Get over it. Like,
well, yeah, and, like, she goes through that phase where she's just like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Like, what do you even care about right now? This is stupid. And then all the other moms are like, wait a second.
She's stupid. Right. And then, then there's those. So for me, what I see PTO parents as is all of the other, like how Christina Applegate was for that entire movie. I'm sure they're not all like that, but that's how they're always going to be to me. Like,
I think those are the, like, dominating personalities that ended up running the PTO.
Yeah. And I don't like. I'm not bad at following direction, but I refuse to if you're not, like, giving me a paycheck to sit here and like listen to Martha like tell me like nope, I'm sorry, I'm checking out. Like, Martha, you're not my boss. I don't know why. I'm not okay with that. Like I don't know. My boss at my work can tell me what to do. My boss's boss, they can tell me. I don't fucking know you, Martha. Like I don't have to listen.
Get out of here, Martha.
Get your shit together, Martha. I'm not listening to you. So I don't know. Like my wife Mary, she's much more receptive to those kind of things. Where if I went, I would just be sitting in the back like you can't be serious, right? Like no, you're not really gonna. No, I'm not. You're not gonna do that, are you? Like that would be me. I think if she allowed herself to be a PTO mom, she would be more like buttoned up and you know.
I'm sure she'd be more buttoned up, but I still don't picture your wife Mary as somebody who would be like, there's 78 extra calories in the lunch menu. We need to do something about it.
Yeah, no, thank God, because no.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be like, you and Martha can run off together. I'm not dealing with either of that.
Yeah. So welcome to #BadMomsCast.
Yes. #fuck PTO.
That's such a good movie, though. Like,
it is a great movie.
I'll watch anything with Kristen Bell in it, obviously.
We have established, well, not on this show, but we have established what is your favorite Kristen Bell movie?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but that's not even like her best movie.
But it is a great movie.
She is a great movie?
Did I say that?
You did. I do agree. I'm glad we're on the same page here.
She is a fantastic movie.
She's good in that movie, but she's like that bitchy movie star, and she plays it well. But I think I love her character in Bad Moms. I love the show that she's in too, the Good Place. Yeah.
That is one of the shows that we had on our DVR. And you ever start watching a show, you watch a couple episodes, you get busy, you come back and it's week 9, and you're like, cool, fuck. And then we just never went back. So it's on the to-do list. My wife, Mary, will be going on maternity leave here soon, and I think that's going to be catching up on everything time.
So you can have your 4th kid and then just keep them coming.
Just nope. I told you. This was discussed last time. Snip, snip.
I know. I'll believe it when I see it, I guess.
You want to come watch?
I don't.
Hold my hand.
Yeah.
Tell me when it's over. But I don't know what my favorite Kristen Bell movie would be. You know what is a great Kristen Bell movie? Is Hit and Run with her husband, Dax Shepard. That movie's fucking hilarious.
And I haven't seen it.
Okay.
There
you go.
I've never liked Dax Shepard.
Oh, I love Dax Shepard.
Or as I call him, Ashton Kutcher.
That asshole that's married to your other
Yeah.
No, that movie's hilarious. You should check it out.
I'll watch it.
Okay.
Is it on Vudu?
It is indeed. You know it is.
So we did not plan on talking about PTO for 45 minutes.
Or Kristen Bell.
No.
But Alden will always work some Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, if you need me, 863-555.
Nude parents.
One of the things that we threw out questions from you guys to ask what topics you guys would like to discuss, and some of them are really good. I really look forward to talking about in the future. One of the things we wanted to talk about is just childhood fears. I think we all had them, and at some point our kids have had them, and just how you deal with them, how you keep them sane, but also keep yourself sane.
And not laugh. Let's be honest. Yeah. You want to laugh when they walk away. You do.
Sometimes you want to laugh while they're saying it.
There's there's not.
There's
dumbass.
Yeah.
There's no.
And
you can't get sucked down the drain.
There's not a snake in the toilet.
I don't know.
And then that's true. In Brandon's house, it's possible, I guess.
It's very possible.
But it's not going to be a bad one.
I hope it's not an anaconda, at least,
Yeah.
But I was about to make an anaconda Sir Mix-a-Lot joke there, but I'm
probably not a good one.
Nope. Yeah. It probably would have, but it wouldn't have landed.
Guys,
right
I just want you to know, you should have laughed just now.
Yeah.
So give you a couple seconds for laughter, and go. Did you have any childhood fears? I'm sure you did.
I mean,
don't be tough now.
No, I'm
33
pussy.
years old.
I'm a pussy.
Yeah.
Pussy. I mean, I did, but I'm trying to think of I remember so I was petrified as a child of Freddy Krueger. He scared every kid, as he should, because he murdered kids. That's a good reason to be afraid of him.
That's a good thing to be scared of.
But I vividly remember being younger. I don't remember how old, but watching Leprechaun.
Oh,
with very young Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in that. Those movies are super cheesy, but I like them. I do enjoy them. But there's a scene in that where he's trying to get his gold out of this fat dude's stomach, and he pogo sticks on his stomach. until it just explodes, and then he pulls the gold out, as would be, clearly. But for some reason, that scene stuck with me, and I just remember, like, for a very long time, not being able to sleep without seeing, like, Leprechaun in the corner, or I couldn't go down in the basement because, like, not just like, oh, I'm scared. Like, it just fucked me up, and I couldn't, like, close my eyes. And being, like, the weird, irrational fears, I don't remember as much of, but I do remember these things growing up, and maybe as I say them out loud, like, maybe I should seek professional help. But, like,
that's what this is right here.
I would lay in bed, and it's crept its way into adulthood, but for different reasons. Like, I could not fall asleep if I was facing, like, the left, because in my child mind there was scary shit. Like, if I literally laid in the bed and I rolled to the left, I would see shit. Like, I would close my eyes and it would be horrible shit, but I would roll to the right and it was pitch black. To this day, if I'm laying in bed and I'm facing my wife, Mary, and trying to sleep, I can't. But if I roll over and face the other way, I can. It's not, I don't see anything, but it's like it's crept so far into me now that it's like I can't.
That's crazy.
Sleep with that. It was really weird. And I hope this doesn't make me sound psychotic.
Well, it already does. Go ahead.
A little bit. I used to have this thing where, so I have hypoglycemia, so like my blood sugar crashes and I start getting dizzy, and it's not a pretty sight. But when I was younger, I don't remember suffering from that. But what would happen is I would have these spells, and everything that was being said around me, everything I heard was coming in super slow motion, like everything. And it plays, there's sometimes that still happens to me. I don't know what it's from, and I've never looked it up because I don't know if I want to know. But, like, that would fuck with me. Like, I would remember things, or people would be talking to me, but it would be coming. And it would, like, play it in my head that way. And it was weird. But, like, as far as, like, monsters under my bed, I'm sure when I was younger I had those fears, but I don't vividly remember any of those. I remember this weird, like, going to sleep shit, and this weird, like, slow motion speaking shit, and being that one age where I might have discovered it at a younger age, but realizing what death truly was. Like, I didn't grow up in a Christian household. I grew up with, like, our basic beliefs. Like, my family's Protestant, but we didn't go to church, and that was fine. So I had my beliefs and stuff like that, but at one age I just went, oh my God, no, when you die it just fucking stops. Yeah. Like, you're just not there anymore, and, like, it's just black. Like, it's just black. And, like, do you know that's going on? Like, I think I was too young to be having those thoughts, but I totally had those thoughts. Like,
I'm glad we're getting to the root of some real psychosis issues.
Just lay down and
I laid on the couch to start the episode. I guess you should have. But I guess, so now we've established, I guess, on our other show, Digital Hoarders,
that Brandon is insane.
But we just established that here too. But your parents weren't always the best parents, so I don't want to, like, get into, like, any of their inconsistencies or whatever. But did you ever bring up your fears to your parents to see how they would react to it?
No.
Just you kept them inside, and they ate at you until you just never could roll to your left?
Pretty much. And it's fucking weird, but like I said, I cannot sleep if I face that way. Like, I can lay there and get tired, but I cannot fall. It's literally impossible for me to fall asleep like that. It is so fucking weird. I can go up to bed, falling asleep on the couch, dead to the world, lay on my left, and I'll stay awake. Roll over my right, and I'll be on a heartbeat. I don't understand it, but I remember being younger and, like, doing that tossing and turning shit, that one side was just this horrific shit. The other side was just peaceful. So, beats me. Man. So, anybody got a dream journal out there, email me and tell me how fucked up I am.
Yeah, I would love to hear, like, possible reasonings behind this. So if you have, like, any kind of insight to this kind of thing, it'd be cool, because I'm supposed to be continuing on with the podcast right now, but all I can do now is think about the reasonings that would be behind that issue.
Alden's just gonna come and watch me sleep and take notes.
Yeah,
he's right.
Sketch him.
Draw me like one of your French girls. But I wonder, like, to circle back around, if that, like, if the kids have any of that stuff in them. Like, is it a wire loose? Is it a chemical imbalance? Is it just something you just train yourself at a younger age and then it just sticks with you? I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know. Like my kids are afraid of the dark. As in, one of my girls is, and my other girl isn't. My oldest is. My middle child is not. Like she doesn't give a shit. But I remember one night they were scared and they could not sleep. So just kind of off the top of my head, I did this. I was like, well, come here. Let me show you something that I do when I'm scared. And I put a bubble around them. So I blew into my hands, rubbed them together.
Oh, like
clapped.
A fake bubble.
Yeah. Clap and then like move my arms around them like it was a bubble. And I said, inside of this bubble, nothing can get you.
Okay.
Inside of this bubble, you're safe. Daddy and mommy are here. There's nothing that can hurt you. My daughter is 8, and she still wants a bubble before she goes to sleep. So, and I started that at a very young age. It was just literally off the top of my head. I was like, watch this. And then sometimes when they're super scared, they ask, can I put a bubble around the house? So I do the same thing, but I just go like this, and nobody can see that. But I just move my arms outward. And 8 and 6, and they still want it.
That's really cool, man.
So, yeah.
And it's really cool and cute now. What do you do when she calls you and she's 25 and she's like, Daddy, I need a bubble. I can't sleep. Can you drive to my apartment? I need a bubble.
I will FaceTime a bubble. Daddy can email you bubbles.
I guess by then, maybe FaceTime, you could just be like a hologram.
Yeah, exactly. Right into the
then again,
Star Trek.
Like Star Trek, man.
Oh, we're back. Let's make it a point to bring Star Trek into every episode.
We might not ever have giggle fits and squeaky voices, but Star Trek will always be there for us.
But yeah, so I don't know. I am sure there was something akin to that when I was younger. I don't know if there was. I don't recall it. But I do like that. I started that bubble thing when my oldest was like 3 or 4, and it's still there, and it's cute. I love it. She came up to me the other day and she's like, I haven't gotten a bubble in a while. I'm not sleeping good. And I'm like, well, come here. And now we've kicked it back off, and now every night, and I don't know, I like it. It's cute. It's our thing. So.
Yeah.
What were your childhood fears?
Oh man, I was a fraidy cat when I was a kid. And it's funny that you brought up Leprechaun, because that kind of did the same thing to me. Not the same part. I don't even remember what the part was. Oh, there's the lawnmower.
Yes.
And that messed with me, and I forgot all about that. But I also forgot I watched Critters. And I don't even remember if that was supposed to be a scary movie. I haven't watched it in my adult life.
I think
I feel like
it's like a R-rated Gremlins,
right?
Essentially,
that's what I was thinking. Like it was a little bit scarier than Gremlins, but I don't think I should have been terrified by it.
And Gremlins is actually classified as a horror.
Is
It's
it
considered a horror movie? Yeah, it's a PG horror movie, but it is considered a horror movie.
That one didn't do it for me the same way.
Great
but
movie, though.
I was definitely too young to see Critters, and I don't even remember if I was allowed to or if I just put in the VHS and watched it. But I remember
Easter Bunny.
From that point forward, I was terrified every time I went into the bathroom. I opened the closets or like the cabinets to check and see if there was a critter in there. I would open the medicine cabinet to see if there's a critter. I'd pick up the toilet seat because I was terrified that there was going to be a critter.
I'm gonna just start putting I'm gonna buy critter stuffed animals.
It's not there anymore.
I'll find it. Will be because you're gonna open up a medicine cabinet. What the fuck? And then boom,
Brandon, I need a bubble.
I need a bubble.
I need a bubble.
I need to sleep on my right side.
But I was also afraid of, and it was kind of, it all started at around the same time that you're talking about, where it was like, oh, dying is real and scary.
It's a weird thing to hit you as a kid, I don't know, everybody's religious background is different, and some people went to church every Sunday, or Bible school and all that stuff, Bible camp and Sunday school and all that. But I think that most people at that age, and I don't remember how old I was, but I know I wasn't that old. I know it was before 5th grade, because I know I was in the house. We lived in one house up until 5th grade, and then another one beyond that. And I know I was in the other house. I know that for a fact. So it had to probably be 3rd grade.
I was 5 or 6 probably when these thoughts were coming.
And it just fucking hit you, and you just lay there, and you, as a child, you're like, oh my god, there's nothing. It just goes black, and all of your stuff just is still there, but you're not playing. As a kid, you're probably who plays with my toys? But it just. Yeah, it fucked with me.
Yeah, but I grew up in a Christian household. I mean, we did believe in all that. And I still, to this day, I think there's more to life than what we have here. But there was a long time in between where I kind of lost all that. But even as a kid, even that thought, even I'm going to die and go to heaven, Like, that still was a scary thought to me. Like, even having that as a, I don't know if you say backup, but, you know.
To quote, look forward to.
Yeah. But even that, it was like, what? But all of this, like, all of my friends and family are here. And, with religion, too, comes the thoughts of, like, what if my friends don't go to heaven? And what if my family doesn't do the right thing and go where they need to go?
True.
So I had all that, too. I was deathly afraid of thunderstorms, and not even like inconsolable. If there was so much, like, if it was raining, fine, whatever. But if there was even like a rumble of thunder in the distance, I started crying. If I was at my friend's house playing a Sega Genesis because he had one and I didn't, and that was my only way to play Sonic.
Thanks, Mom.
I would sprint home. Like, if there was thunder, I would just leave a dust trail, and I'd
like
be gone.
Sonic.
Just like Sonic. Gotta go fast, and I'd run, down the sidewalk, and I'd run home. I'd go into my room, I'd curl up in a ball, and I'd start crying, because I was positive that this thunder was going to bring about a tornado that was going to lift me up and take me away.
I remember you did say before you were terrified of the movie, like the movie Twister really fucked with you. And
and it wasn't even just me, like, because my parents would say, there's no severe weather here. Like, it's not that bad. It's just a storm. And I'd be like, well, what about Grandma and Grandpa? What's going to happen to them?
Gotcha.
And as family gets further away, too, there's just that much more to be afraid of. I don't know when I get over it, but the weird thing to me now to think back on it is my parents tried, you know? Mm-hmm. They tried to handle it well. I don't think there's anything they could have done. There was no amount of logic that could be talking to me. There was no amount of, like, consoling that would help. All that would help is when the storm was over and the sun would start to come out and I'd be okay again. And in the summer, that was terrifying. Like, 3 or 4 nights a week, it would just be me curled up in a ball crying.
And then praying there's no critters.
Yeah.
Critters and thunderstorms, man. That was the end of you.
Yeah. I don't know. And that's what's weird to me as a parent, because now I try to console my kids when they have fears. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what to do. I mean, I feel like I handle it pretty well, but I know that there are times where you just can't do anything.
Yeah.
My oldest, 13, he's not really. I don't think he has any fears, really.
Oh, I love this. He wets the bed.
No, but he's a skittish child. Like, he's worried about everything. He's
got a huge heart. He is an absolute, he's an awesome kid. He's got a huge heart, and he cares about everything and everyone around him.
And he's afraid of upsetting anybody.
Yeah.
He's terrified of failure. I mean, he doesn't like to try things because he's afraid he's going to fail. Mm-hmm. These are all, like, deep-rooted issues that aren't things that are like, I'm afraid of the dark, and it's
true.
It's a lot harder to talk about these things, especially because when you're 13 and you want to pretend like you don't have any of these issues, and you want to act like I'm super cool, like I'm not afraid of anything, or I just don't want to do this. I'm not trying because I'm scared. I'm not trying because I don't like it.
Yeah.
But my daughter, I don't know that she's afraid of bridges.
I thought you said Bridget's.
She's afraid of Bridget's.
Anybody named Bridget.
When she was a child, or when I was a child, I saw Critters. When she was a child, she saw Bridget Jones's Diary.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah. She's afraid of bridges. It's not that bad. It's not like she cries every time we go over one. It's just like she's uneasy. When she was younger, she was deathly afraid of sidewalk grates, or whatever you'd call it.
Oh, okay. Like falling through, or
she was afraid she was going to step on them and she was going to tumble and never land, and she was so scared. And I would get shit because of what I would do to try to help her through it. I've always been kind of like look, it's not that bad kind of parent. Like,
gotcha.
let's go through the logic. Let's logically talk about what happens. These grates are here every day. People walk over them every day. People drive over them every day. I want you to just step on it. And she would be terrified.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I still don't know if I'm right. Maybe I was a shitty dad. But I would say, stand on the grate. Come on, just stand on it. And usually she would. There were times where she wouldn't. But she would stand on it. She'd be terrified and she'd cry. and I'd feel like a jerk, but I felt like I was doing the right thing.
But inside, she was realizing, well, I didn't fall through.
Exactly.
It's kind of like that thing that, some parents do that with swimming. Like,
yeah.
Stay beside him, but throw the kid in and stand there. Mm-hmm. Let him go under quickly, then bring him back up and show him that you can go under, you can come back up, and it's fine. But, yeah, it's. I think what you did was fine. It's just, knowing to not, like, punish her or make her feel bad for that is the most important thing, I think. So,
it's not like I would say you don't
feel like, idiot, this isn't gonna, it's a grade, moron. Yeah, exactly,
That's true, but there are plenty, like, I would go into work and tell people what would happen, and I would just get all in, what is wrong with you? Why do you do this to her? Poor baby.
Oh, well. Well, also, is that at which job?
That was at
job?
No, that was at the.
I was gonna say, was that your dad? Just saying.
Don't
you do that to my granddaughter?
Yeah. No, it was at the HOA kind of.
Well, they just hated everything, so
yeah.
It's an HOA.
But my youngest stepson is a completely different story. He's like Aubrey and Caden are skittish children. Mm-hmm. He is like. I don't know that there's much that he's not afraid of.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one of those situations where it's more like, oh, don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Yeah.
And you feel bad because, but I mean, that's kind of what this podcast is about. Like, there are times where you as a parent, you're thinking things where you're like, oh, this makes me a shitty parent.
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that.
I shouldn't be thinking these things, but you don't act on it, and you don't.
Of course not. No, it's just a fleeting thought.
We all have it, and I think it's healthy to accept that you have these thoughts. But he's afraid of the dark. He's afraid of storms. He's afraid of fire alarms at school. He's afraid of the power going out. We had a year or two ago. We had a night where we thought it would be fun to pretend like the power went out. Uh-huh. We shut the power off in the house. We turned off the breakers, and that way we could all play board games, and we could light candles and cook by candlelight. I mean, not cook, but like put together dinner by candlelight and stuff. And all the kids loved it, and Finley loved it too.
Hunt for our food. And
learn how to use a bow.
Skin a deer. The kids learned how to gut something that day.
But when we went to go turn the power back on, we thought we broke it. It wouldn't turn back on.
Oh, shit.
We looked around at the neighbors' houses. None of their lights were on either. We found out that
it just happened to go off.
It just happened
that's crazy.
To go out
while you were pretending it was out.
That's
pretty crazy.
And literally the moment we realized that, he started to cry. I mean, just like, what? Oh, and it was just kind of like, you were fine 2 minutes ago when
I guess
he had
in his
it
head,
off on purpose.
Now we're never going to have it, and
I don't know.
How do we?
And we would ask him what was what is upsetting you so much? I don't know.
Huh.
And it ended up with, at the end of the night, and again, this is one of those like, was I a shitty parent or was I a good parent? I don't know. There's a line there, and I'm not sure which side I'm on. It was time to tuck him in. And he just couldn't sleep. Like, he was just, like, crying too hard to sleep. And I said, no, Finn, it's okay. We just turned it back off. We just turned our power back. I just lied to him.
I don't think that is... I mean, by definition, it's a lie, but
It super is a lie.
Yeah, by definition, but, I mean, I don't think that there's... If you didn't, he wasn't sleeping, and he wasn't going to be controllable, and hell, that could have created some super, fear in him that he was going to forever be afraid of these kind of things. And something like that, I don't view it as that. I mean, because we all do that with our kids, like, in some way, shape, or form. That sounds awful, but everybody lies to their kids. And there's a difference between lying to your kid and for their own good, and then there's a difference between lying just because you're afraid of the truth. You know what I mean?
It's not like I was saying, like, don't go into the closet there because I don't want him to, but then, you add, like, there's a murderer in there.
Yeah, your whole family will get eaten.
Yeah.
But, no, I think everybody does it in some way, shape, or form. You know, you say things like, I'm trying to think of an example right now because everybody does it. I'm just trying. Now, I'll put on the spot. I can't think of an example.
I try not to. Like, I think that might have been the first time I'd really done it, and I felt shitty for it. And I walked out, and my girlfriend Tanya was like, "You just lied to him."
Oh, damn.
Like,
that didn't help any.
Well, no, because she's always known me as somebody who just doesn't lie. I'm pretty incapable of lying, so I don't do it. Like, I don't like it. I hate it, but I also am bad at it, so why am I going to do it?
Good point.
So it was kind of a weird moment, but it was just like, what do I do right now? Because nothing was working, and it's like I was saying when I was a kid. Like, if my parents could have said, "There's no thunderstorm," I would have been like, "Oh, okay, cool." They couldn't do that because that's not how thunder and lightning works.
Yeah. That's all in your imagination.
Yeah.
Disregard that going on outside the window right now. That's not really.
That's just angels bowling.
Yeah, anyway.
But he too, like,
it's a wildfire. Don't worry.
But there have been so many moments with, like, there are days where he doesn't want to go to school because he thinks they're gonna have a fire drill, and
I wonder what that is.
He's afraid of it actually being a real fire drill, like there's actually a fire, even though he knows that the fire drill is coming.
Yeah.
And again, like, there's just no consoling him. And it's kind of a funny story, and it's again like shitty that I'm laughing, but we were playing basketball outside one day, and he slipped. He's a clumsy boy.
Yes, he is.
He's a very sweet, very clumsy boy.
Yeah, he's a little cuddle bug, but he is very. Yeah, he walks into walls, like literally walks into the wall, and you're like, Finn, you know that was there, right? Like, he's done it at our house a bunch. I'm like, it's okay, man. I just put that wall there. Don't worry, it's not on you. So, like.
Well, he fell playing basketball. Mm-hmm. He wanted to get into basketball. He's never been like a sportsy kid. He's like, I want to play basketball. So we played basketball, and he tripped. He fell. He skinned his hand. There was like a little bit of blood coming out.
That was the end of the world.
Like a little bit of blood coming out. You know, like when you just like barely even a drop. Like it's not even forming drops of blood. It's just like a raspberry, but there's a little bit of blood.
He was done.
Oh my God, the world was over. Just screaming and shaking and bawling, and like you'd think he was having a seizure. And I'm like, are you like, I thought he was just really hurt, or like
and then you walk over and you're like,
he's like, I'm bleeding. And you're like, okay, yeah, a little, sort of, kind of, but it's not that bad. And he's like, it is bad. And I said, it's not. And he's, Alden, this is blood. And I'm like, I know. Are
yes, it is.
Does blood gross you out? No. And I said, then what's scaring you about the blood so much? And he goes, it's not just blood. This is my life leaving my body.
Oh my God.
And I had to like turn away, like, because I'm just like, what do I say?
Oh my God.
My life leaving my body? So I had to like compose myself, turn around, and like put my arm around him and get in his face and kind of be like, hey, you know, this isn't your life leaving your body. That's not your life.
Yeah.
Your life is, you know, like what's going on in your head and what you feel inside, and that's your life, man. And I'm just
Until
like,
he listens to this,
I am so full
he was
of
lying.
shit.
I was dying. I was dying, and he was letting me.
And then I'm like, you could lose like a gallon of blood before you die. And he's like, oh!
How much is a gallon? Is this a gallon?
Yeah.
No, that's not a gallon. That's a drop.
Yeah.
It hasn't even fallen out yet.
Yeah, so it's like...
He's a sweet kid.
Yeah.
I watched him stub his toe once before here walking around the corner, and I legitimately thought like
he broke it?
If he called... No. Yeah, you would have thought he just had his fucking foot amputated, but like... I was like, my God, if like Tanya, your girlfriend Tanya, were to call right now and hear him in the background, she'd think like you just tossed him down a flight of stairs or something. But
well, I mean,
what did he do? He sort of kind of grazed his toe on the
wall. And that's like, I don't know. It's just funny because we went through Caden and we've done pretty well managing Caden through life, and you know, he's gone through some shit really, and we've gotten him to accept it and handle it pretty darn well.
He is. I don't know a whole lot of 13-year-old kids, That'd be really creepy if I did.
That'd be weird, huh?
But he's gotta be the most mature kid I've ever been around at his age, because
he's an old man at 13.
He really is.
He's like, I gotta go to bed.
When you become a teenager, now he's full of incredibly irritating teenage things. That is just the old man in me being like, stop saying it's lit, stop fucking dabbing. If you dab one more time, like we took him to the zoo that one time and he wouldn't stop dabbing in the back of the car, and I was like, I'm gonna put you on the side of the road if you dab one more time.
Yeah, but we were annoying when we were 13 too.
100%.
Yeah.
And this is how our parents felt, so we're allowed to feel like this
for sure.
So but all of that shit aside, he's, like we said earlier, that's he's a sweet kid. I mean, my son, my 3-year-old, just fucking adores everything about him. And when he comes home from school, you would think at 13, you'd be like, leave me alone. Like, these kids just, no. He comes in, he's jumping around, he's Joker. He plays Joker with them. Like, love it.
He loves to, like, be almost like 13-year-old parent to the kids.
100%.
Like, it's his favorite
100%.
thing. And Aubrey has been through some crazy shit and navigated her through that pretty well. Like, she's been through some crazy stuff, and
she's been through stuff nobody should ever go through.
Yeah,
Nobody.
and she's like a champ. Like, I'm impressed by her every day.
I love her to death. She's such a sweetheart with knowing, her backstory. People our age don't cope with shit like that very well.
And she just goes on like, life is cool. And she's funny. Like, she just knows, like, when she's got comedic timing.
Like the doc thing.
Well, the doc thing, yeah. But also, I don't think I told you this story. Tanya was
who?
My girlfriend Tanya.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know where I was. Yeah. I don't know who I was. She's gonna think I'm cheating on her.
Who is this Tanya you speak of?
My girlfriend Tanya was talking to her one night and was talking about Harry Potter. Okay. Aubrey doesn't like Harry Potter, but that's not the point. My girlfriend Tanya is obsessed with Harry Potter.
So is my wife Mary. In case you didn't know.
Yeah. That's how Brandon and I met.
Side note, they are women.
Women's?
Were
our women folk
determined that we become friends.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't ever gonna, like, we're the two of us apart are very much like sit in the corner and just kind of leave us alone kind of people. Like, we're reserved, but they, like, refused for that to be the case. Like, they're like, no. Like, if they would have, they'd have, like, pushed us together like we were two kids at a dance. Like, you two like each other. And, like, eventually we're like, all right, fine, fuck it, God, all right.
Yeah, now we're recording a million podcasts together.
Yeah, now we're inseparable.
But we still have to pretend like they weren't right. Like,
I really don't like Alden. I just like podcasting. And he's the
he's got a microphone.
I don't know anybody that lives close with a microphone. And he is, and he, like, knows how to put it on iTunes. So sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, my girlfriend Tanya was in tucking Aubrey in. Tucking her into bed, and my girlfriend Tanya grew up in a Christian home too, but, like, her mom was very, like, you can't watch things that are magic and whatever and all that stuff, so she wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter. She was tucking Aubrey in, and, nice sweet moment, and Aubrey asked her about Harry Potter, and she says, yeah, well, you know what, I didn't watch it for a long time. Like, I finally got to see it, but it took me a long time to be allowed to watch it. My mom wouldn't let me watch it. And Aubrey put her hand on her shoulder and just goes, why? Christianity?
Christianity. Probably just looked her dead in her eyes with those big doe eyes that Aubrey has, and just Christianity.
Yeah, and she wasn't, like, condemning Christianity.
Of course
she goes to church every week. She loves.
She understood why it was, though. Like,
yeah. So anyway, she's amazing, and I thought we had, like, navigated her through all this stuff very well. And then Finley, who hasn't gone through as much stuff as the other two, his mom and his dad split when he was younger, so it's, less fresh in his memory. You know what I mean? And he's the one that I just, like, I thought I was ready. Like, come on, coach, put me in.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out how to calm him down or get him through anything.
With Finn, he seems like when he loves something, he loves with his whole heart.
Oh, yes.
Like, when his grandmother passed away, I remember he was over at our house the very next day, and every kid is upset about that, and I get that.
Yeah.
But it was the way that he, like, described it. But he would, like, he'll like, you'll look at him and he's getting upset just literally out of nowhere. And you're like, what's the matter, buddy? And he's like, it's just, and like he's like chokes over his words. Like he just loves with his whole heart. Yeah. And I think he's so compassionate about everything.
And he's so smart, and his brain's always working, and it works overtime. And I think that causes a lot of the issues that he has with that kind of overthinking those fears. Like,
true.
He thinks about what could happen if it was the worst case scenario. So it's pretty rough. Like, I'd love to hear advice or thoughts and whatever anybody else has done, like dealing with kids in that capacity.
Yeah. Or if anybody else's kids are similar.
Yeah.
You know, with my girls, like I think one episode I want to do, maybe even the next one, we should do like my wife Mary and I talk a lot about like what do we see our kids being when they get older? And I don't mean occupation wise. I mean like fuck it, we'll just do it now real quick. Like, I mean, my oldest daughter is a bookworm. Uh-huh. Like, she's in 3rd grade, but she's reading. She's light years ahead of where she should be. Everything just comes to her naturally. She just picks up on everything. She's incredibly smart. She's tomboyish in a way. Like, she does like to play baseball with me. She likes video games. So she seems like she'll be that nerdy bookworm girl that's quiet and reserved to herself. My middle, Savannah, is just... She has this personality that everybody just falls in love with right away because she's the biggest, just huge brown doe eyes, just constantly looking at you.
And she's just so, like, bubbly and happy, even when she's saying the shittiest things.
Yep. Yes. 100%. And with her, but she's kind of a bully.
Yeah.
She's straight up a bully to Liliana, but she's not to Delson, our son. She's a bully. She's figured out that Lily is more reserved and she can get away with things, and she bullies Lily. And we're trying to figure out how to make that stop without, you don't want to tell Lily just punch her back, like you don't want to, But with her, we're struggling right now because she isn't like Lily is. She isn't picking up on things. She is kind of being held back a little bit. She had tubes put in her ears, and if anybody, you met Savannah a long time ago, if you talked to my daughter 2 years ago to now, 2 years ago you couldn't understand a word she said because she couldn't hear herself speak. So nothing.
It was almost like, and I could understand her pretty well, but I would forget because other people would come around and she'd be talking and they'd be like, what'd she say? And it was almost like you learned a new language.
Yes, 100%.
Like I learned Savannah.
Like Savannah speak. Yeah. And now she's flying. She has speech classes in school, and she's killing it. But one of the things that we're worried about now is she's they're looking at like ADHD and stuff like that, and that scares the hell out of me because growing up, like I was diagnosed with ADHD, but I was never allowed to take medicine for it. I was basically told that's not a thing. You're fine. You just need to pay attention. Which contributes to a lot of things. If you look at my nervous tics and you look at a lot of things I have, I'm sure. Maybe, whatever. It is what it is. I've grown with it now.
Who knows? Yeah.
I don't want that for her. But at the same time, I remember kids in special education classes and how they were made to feel stupid and how everybody made fun of them. And my daughter isn't there yet, but if she can't if we were to just turn a blind eye to this, she would be down that path. And there's nothing wrong with kids in special education. They're in it for a reason because they need that extra attention. And that's fine. But I don't think Savannah's there yet. I think if we can nip this in the bud and figure out what's going on with her, there's something chemically imbalanced with her. And that's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with her for that.
Like, that's what makes people who they are.
Yes. There's something that doesn't fire in her that fires in Liliana. And we were trying to nip that in the bud, but it's a very heavy subject because I drive around and I drive around for work a lot, and I think about just what's going on in her head. Like she can be sitting in front of you and you can say Savannah 5 times and she answers on the 4th, and it's not because she didn't hear you.
Then why'd you say it a 5th time?
Because I'm making sure she's looking. I realized I said that too because I wasn't paying attention. No, but dick. But it's not, and the doctors have told us she's not ignoring you.
Right.
She hears you, but it takes longer for her brain to connect that you're talking to her and she needs to look at you. Like if you tell them to clean their room, no kid likes to clean.
Yeah.
But if you tell her to clean her room, you can say, Lily, I want you to go clean your room. Savannah, I want you to clean Delson's room. Okay, can you help us with that? Okay, thank you. Lily can go do the room, and Savannah will do 10% of the room and then sit there. And it's like she's processing what's going on. So what we've learned to do is go to her and be like, okay, Savannah, clean this part of the room.
Yeah.
When you're done, come tell Daddy. And then I'll come look at it. And then when you do that, she's fine. So it's learning those things to, because I never want her to feel different. I never want her to feel like not smart, because she's incredibly smart. She just, you might have to take a little bit more time with her, but I never want her to feel any different.
Well,
because
I do think nowadays people are much more equipped to handle those kinds of issues than they were when we were kids.
100%.
Because I definitely...
kids aren't. Kids are dicks, and that's what
for sure
scares me is not, like, her teachers have picked up on it. Her doctor picked up on it quickly. My wife Mary and I were always just like, is this something? Are we overthinking this? Maybe it's just a phase. She's a kid. No, honey, something's, eventually we both were like, no, something's not firing there that fired quickly for Liliana. And because before Lily was out of like kindergarten, first grade, she was on like a fourth grade reading level.
Right.
Like she was murdering it, and Savannah incredibly struggles with it. And it's hard because she sits there and she watches her sister. Her sister's reading Harry Potter right now. Like the whole fucking book, front cover to cover. Like, and not stumbling on a single word, even those made up words. She's not stumbling on everything. Yeah. And Savannah is stumbling on level 1 books. And I know, and I don't know that, but I don't want her to ever beat herself up for it, because if she inherits anything from me, she's going to be hard on herself, and I don't want that. So I want to nip all that shit in the bud, because then when you look at Delson, I'm not around a lot of 3-year-olds. That's the smartest fucking 3-year-old kid I've ever met. Like at 2 years old, he was putting sentences together, singing songs from memory.
The craziest thing about Delson too is like, and I'm around him all the time, and I have been. I mean, really, he was a baby, I guess, huh? Yeah. It was like he started to learn a few words, and then I didn't see him for a week. And then he came over and he was just like, "Hi, Alden, how are you doing?"
Hello.
And I'm like, "What?
How was your day today?"
Hey, Delson, what's going on? Hey, old man, Dels.
Yo, it's amazing. The first time I realized, like, wow, this kid is this kid is smart. Is he was sitting in the back of the car and we were listening to something, and it wasn't what he wanted to listen to, but you just heard him singing the song he wanted to, word for word from memory at 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Like, how the hell are you doing that? And he's a trip. Like, if you could sit him down and put him on an episode of the show, and oh my God, you guys would love him. He would be amazing because he's obsessed with. We'll do that. We'll go an in-depth dive on our kids on another episode.
One day when we haven't already recorded for 55 minutes.
Hey, we haven't left, but we're coming up on that.
We got to get there.
But yeah. So anyway, that's just, I don't even know how we got off on that tangent.
I don't either, but I think it's a good topic that I think maybe we delve more in depth into in the future. Like,
I agree.
It's definitely, and it's too, like, Aubrey's the only kid that's, my blood. But I see so much of me as a kid in her. The way she reacts to things and the way her anxiety is. I had really bad anxiety when I was a kid, and I think it's almost a blessing that I went through everything I did and had to learn how to deal with it on my own, because when I was a kid, it wasn't a thing that people were like, "Oh, he has anxiety."
No,
they didn't say that about a 7-year-old.
They just thought you were, either a hyperactive kid or you were a moody kid. Like that's kind of all they're,
Yeah, and but I feel like it's a blessing because I now know kind of how to talk to her about things, because I've seen her in the same situations. I mean, literally, and I'll never forget, I think she was about 4, and it's the same exact scenario. When I was about 4, I went to a fair with my parents, and it was the first time I can remember being scared on a ride at the fair. Before that, I would ride like roller coasters with my parents and stuff, and we rode the Tilt-A-Whirl. It wasn't even a scary ride, but for some reason that day, something clicked.
It did it, yeah.
And I was terrified, and I was screaming, and I was crying, and my mom was like trying to get them to stop the ride and stuff.
Yeah.
And that made it more scary because she's screaming out like, "Stop, stop!"
Yeah, and nothing's happening, and now in your head you're like,
she can't control the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Literally, Aubrey is 4 or 5 years old, and we get on the Tilt-A-Whirl together, and she's been riding other things. We get on the Tilt-A-Whirl, and I see that face in her start to like spark up, and like the eyes go, and And I'm like, there's no way. Like, that doesn't even make sense. And she starts to cry, and I immediately knew, like, okay, I need to talk to her. I need to calm her down. And what I did, like, I got in her face and I said, just look me in the eyes. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm right here. Everything else is moving. Look at me right in my eyes. And she calmed down and she made it through. And when we got done, she said, oh, Daddy, that was really cool. I loved looking into your eyes. Like, she hated the ride, but I knew how to calm her down. And it's not because I think I'm a great parent. I just think I happened to pick that up while I was going through it when I was a kid, and it gave me a thing that I could teach her through. You know, like, if your kids go through the same thing where they're kind of beating themselves up, you are equipped a little bit better than your parents were, for sure, to kind of talk them through that and see it before it becomes a problem.
Correct, yeah. I agree.
And I think that's what's really cool about, I don't know, just growing and learning and being a parent in this age.
Yeah.
Because we all try to give our kids a better life than we had. But my voice cracked.
I heard it.
I didn't do it on purpose. I guess after about 50 minutes of talking, my voice just gives out.
Your body's like, I'm done with this fucking podcast.
Done.
Like,
done with hashtag Dad Pod.
You still have to do digital hoarders here.
Yeah, we got to do another podcast in about an hour. So I guess we're good to wrap up, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think we touched on topics that can make excellent future discussions.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, I was kind of blown away by the responses to the first episode.
Yeah.
And the feedback and exactly what we wanted. You know, we wasn't a whole lot of people, but the fact that any parents felt like reaching out on Twitter and saying, what about this? What do you think of this? And we heard things like, what do you think about bedtimes? What do you think about online play? And that's stuff that we're 100% going to hit on in future episodes. But the fact that any parents listen to us and we're like, I like these guys, I want to see what they think about this, instead of, fuck these guys. Like, who do they think I got this?
They think they're a good parent?
Yeah,
fuck them.
Fuck them. Like, and so that's awesome. So, no, I'm excited to keep doing this and for people to keep responding to it the way they did. So.
Yeah, it's a show that I'm really glad we started it. I'm glad it gives us kind of an outlet, but it also gives us a way to kind of talk to people and have fun too. Like, this was a more serious episode, and we got kind of in depth into some like deep-seated issues, which I didn't really expect. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, like, guess what my kid did stories.
My kid scraped his hand.
But I like that we can do that on this. Like, we can kind of have that dichotomy of ideas going on.
And still bounce off it. Like, it can start off goofy, get heavy, and goofy, and it doesn't feel weird. It's just, again, you know.
And somewhere in between, throw in Star Trek.
And Squeak.
And Squeak.
Throw in
Star
Trek.
Who knew?
Yeah. I think you're creating a podcast. It's, one part deep conversation, one part hilarious, one part Star Trek, one part Squeak. And mix it all together, and boom, you have hashtag Dad Pod. And
hashtag Dad Pod.
Hashtag Dad Pod. Star Trek. But no, I'm excited for this. I'm having fun.
Yeah, so please follow us on Twitter. It's at hashtag DadPod. Hashtag is spelled out. Find us on iTunes, rate, review, subscribe. That really helps out. It's really cool, and it gives us a chance to reach more people. I feel like this is a podcast that has a chance to kind of reach a lot of people.
Hopefully,
and have a lot of interaction. So it'd be really cool to have that.
It's iTunes, Podbean, Google Play. The audio, obviously we don't record video, but the audio is on YouTube as well.
Yep.
So there's, any avenue you want, we're available. So on iTunes and Google Play and YouTube, subscribe. On Podbean, subscribe. Like Alden said, rate. Let us know. And definitely don't be afraid to reach out to us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Whether it's through our hashtag DadPod or through our personal accounts or anything. Don't be afraid to reach out. So.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you think we were wrong about an issue and we were judgmental about an issue. We try not to be. We really feel like there's no way to parent right. Nope. And that's kind of why we're doing this. Is none of the things we say we think are right.
No.
We just think I did what I could,
Like we said on the last episode, and I stand by that, there is no such thing as a perfect parent. There's absolutely nothing. And there is no part of us that thinks we're perfect.
Yeah.
We do our things our way, and we just letting you in on what we do. That's all. So
yeah. Thank you to Diego for our amazing artwork and Twitter banner.
And the feedback and the questions coming from
such
him
a cool
and everything.
dude.
So, yeah.
He's a dad, too, so...
Follow him on Twitter.
Is he at Dinero Primero?
Primero, yeah. Yeah.
Brandon's going to look it up.
It's a little harder to spell, so I don't want to mess it up. But, yeah, follow him. Like I said, it blew me away, the response from one episode.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you know, parents reached out to us. And we want to make sure that it doesn't have to be dads, like we said last week. All parents. But his Twitter handle is Dinero, Dinero Primero. Dinero Primero is Diego V is his name on there.
Yeah, great
Follow
dude.
him, great guy.
Other than that, I think we're about good here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us on #DadPod. This has been episode 2. Look out for us in 2 weeks. This has been Leprechaun and
It's been
Critters.
It's been
Leprechaun and Critter.
It's been Bacon and Jaguar.
Bacon and Jaguar. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the other side. No, this one's getting cut. It's already bad.
Yeah. This is all the stuff that you'll never hear. Except for that, because I probably went too long.
All right, I gotta get some energy for this shit. Hold on, let me get a drink of water.
Just keep it in. Yeah. Are you it's like when Colin and Greg, he would walk away.
Oh, that was my favorite shit.
Alden's taking a sip of water. It's the water, man.
At the door?
Alden is coming back to the
Who knows
mic
what's really
right now.
happening with the waterman? That was my favorite. I miss Colin.
I do too.
I miss
P.S. I love you. I do. Yeah, I don't like I don't listen to New Collins, so I can't say I don't like him. He just doesn't talk about anything I give two rats' asses about.
Yeah.
2 rats' asses? That's not a saying.
That's a whole bunch of asses.
That's a lot of rat ass.
That is 4 rat ass cheeks. I can't.
I think this is staying in too. You're welcome.
I don't think it can.
If you heard all of this, you're welcome.
We can't have an intro where we shit on a world-renowned podcast.
We're not
host.
shitting on him. We just don't.
We liked him before when his voice squeaked.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's gonna happen to